So welcome to the Essential Ingredients podcast. This week, we have a special series that we are working on, and it is to introduce some of the great speakers that will be at the Future of Food conference that is coming up shortly. And this week, we have Lalana Thiranusornkij.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, wonderful.
You did well.
I did not butcher that. Okay, wonderful. Well done. So she is the head of innovation and new product development at the CFP Group. And we're so pleased to have you here. We're pleased to learn a little bit about you, about why innovation, and what you're going to be sharing at the conference that is coming up. So what people can expect to see. So welcome, Lalana, and thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, so thank you so much, Justine. So I'm very pleased to be here on the podcast and, looking forward to talking to you.
Wonderful. So, just to get started here, I know you are in innovation. I know you've been at this group for, what, a year and a half now or so?
Yes, that's correct.
But, you've been in innovation for a while now. So what about innovation excites you?
Yeah, well, innovation, it's really exciting for me because innovation is all about solving pain points, right? So solving problems. So, when there's a problem, there's always innovation, always new things to come and solve those problems because, humans nowadays are just so smart. When they see a problem, they'll jump into that problem, study that problem. What is the cause? How do we overcome that problem? And then, there's innovation, for example, with plant-based, right? Mm-hmm. What are the problems with, the traditional proteins? That's the environment, that's the health, and that's the, animal cruelty and all that. So there's this plant-based or alternative proteins innovation to come in to solve each of those problems. So, it fascinates me how people are so smart and come up with all these alternative, solutions to solve these problems. Yeah.
I guess my question to you is, I know that you work at CPF.
Yeah.
What were you drawn there because of Meat Zero? Because I hear from what you're saying, your passion and your drive around plant-based solutions. And then I know that you work with Meat Zero. So I'm trying to connect the dots here. So I'm asking, were you drawn to go work at CPF because of Meat Zero?
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, as you know, CPF, we are one of the largest conglomerates, and we also involved in supplying the world actually with animal protein. So we are a main source of a protein provider. And, nowadays the lifestyle of people have changed and people want to have other choices of protein apart from animal proteins. And so at CPF, we decided that why not go into the alternative protein space as well, because we are already supplying people with protein, and therefore the brand Meat Zero came about in order to supply the world with alternative sources of protein, for example, plant proteins, and also other proteins that we are working on as well. And yes, this is great that we have diversified our interests, to other sources of protein as well. And I'm really pleased to be a part of the Meat Zero team and try to grow the alternative protein space within CPF as well.
So, yeah, I can imagine. And just listening to you, your passion around it, what is your interest specifically, or how did you help this team grow since you've come on board?
Okay, so I'm looking after the research and product development for the Meat Zero plant-based and alternative protein products. And so I'm looking after the research team, and we research in, a few plant protein sources and also other alternative proteins as well. And also in the product development and developing really exciting products for consumers around the world. Firstly, we did our initial launch in Thailand because that's our original market. And that went on really well with the products, product quality and product variety that we offered to the consumers. And then we launched in Singapore and Hong Kong, and that was really well received as well. And this year we will be going global. So we'll be going to other countries, for example, in Asia, Europe and America too. And this is really exciting for me because each of the markets have different preferences, right? And so how do we develop products for each of these markets that people would love and also enjoy eating these menus? And of course we need the in-depth knowledge of the preferences around the world, regulatory requirements, and just knowing the customers in each part of the world. I think this is really exciting to be able to work in this space and look deeply into consumer preferences and what they want, because it's just all about providing the best for our consumers. If consumers have the meat zero products and they think, oh, the taste is not good, the texture is not good, then we won't get repeat purchase. So the aim of this is to offer the best that we can and have our consumers enjoy our products so that they can buy over and over again. So that's exciting for me.
That is. And so for those listeners or viewers that are watching that are not familiar with this product, or you have a few products actually, could you share with them what some of these products are? And they may vary, I would imagine, as in different places as well.
Yeah, so actually we have, our first series of products that we launched, we had nuggets, we have crispy pork, minced pork, and also the patties as well. And then that's for the ready to cook range. And we also have the ready to eat range, which is the bologna, and also with the ready meals, for example, the spaghetti bolognese, and also with the stir-fried basil with rice. These were the first products that we launched into the Thai market. And so with the other products that we will be offering, we will have gyoza, we will have, like more of the range of the mussel-like texture strips, and and croutons, and also the popcorn. So we have much more in the range that we will offer to our consumers. So I want to keep it as a secret now, so that the market
I totally get that. But one thing that I found so interesting was that you have this company, and it really is about building a good product, and that includes what's in the product and how it's packaged. And I think if you're open to sharing that, I'd love to just ask you to talk a little bit about that, because I think that it was thoughtfully put together.
You mean the package, right?
The packaging, the whole thing, because we talk, the people that are buying this are interested in buying something that's sustainable, regenerative, better for you. And I think that when you guys put this together, it was thoughtfully put together.
Yes, so with the packaging, we look at sustainability, we look at convenience, and we look at the appearance of the packaging so that it attracts consumers. And especially, consumers nowadays, they want the nice look that they can see on the shelf, and it attracts them, at first sight. And then, once they are attracted to the packaging, they'll have a look and say, okay, is the packaging sustainable? If it's sustainable, and people who are eating plant-based foods anyway, they care about sustainability. So, with biodegradable, recyclable and all that, that's one of the preferences that consumers would also look for. And also convenience. Is it convenient, to use? And if they, if they want to reuse it or whatever, like if they don't eat it at the one go, can they still, leave it in the packaging, put it back in the fridge, and then come and use it again? So I think packaging is, quite important to support the product as well.
Essential Ingredients is powered by Next Gen Chef. Next Gen Chef is a movement that supports food and beverage entrepreneurs around the world by fostering a sense of community and providing its members access to mentors and a wealth of resources and guidance. Next Gen Chef feeds members with the knowledge they need to build better for you food and beverage businesses, so the world can have greater access to healthier food, comprehensive food education, and increased affordability. If you like what you hear on this podcast, continue the conversation or ask new questions on the Next Gen Chef app, available in the Apple Store and Google Play. Follow Next Gen Chef on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook at Next Gen Chef. Join Next Gen Chef and let's change the future of the food industry together.
Lalana, can you share with me what goes into making your products?
Okay, so we put a lot of thought into making our Meat Zero products because taste is king, right? So people who want to have these plant-based products, they want the products to taste good and also be like real meat. So we, put a lot of effort into researching and also developing our products so that our products taste good, just like the real meat, and also the texture and appearance is also like real meat as well. And if you can see our Meat Zero products, the fibers and the textures just really mimic the real meat products. And not only do we emphasize on the taste and texture, we also emphasize on the nutritional profile of our products as well, because people who want to consume plant-based, they expect to, they expect the products to be healthy. And so we make our products to be, as healthy as we can and be more healthy than the real meat. For example, we, have extra protein, we have, fiber, we have, of course, zero cholesterol, we have lower fat, and we also have other minerals that are required as well. For example, with the higher calcium and also with the iron and also, the purine as well. So purine is lower because that's for people who have gout. Then, with the lower purine amount, that is better for them. So with the nutritional profile, we really emphasize on that. And also product variety. So with the product variety, as you asked me before, we have launched our first generation products, but our second generation products, we will have much more exciting products, for example, like the gyozas, and also with the more of a, meat-like or fibrous texture type of products. And apart from the great products that are being offered, the packaging, we also pay a lot of importance. The packaging must look good, attractive, the packaging material be sustainable, and also be able to provide convenience to the consumers. So, we put all our thoughts in every aspect and every step of developing our Meat Zero products.
Well,
And that's
really
just for
thoughtful.
pure enjoyment for our consumers.
I think it sounds very thoughtful. One of the concerns I often have is many or some of the plant-based meats, when they had first come out, had a lot of filler in them. I don't know if you've had much
Okay.
conversation about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the clean labeling, right?
Right.
Yes, we try to minimize the ingredients as much as possible and work towards clean labeling. Actually, in our latest development for some customers, we have developed more of the vegetable type products as well, according to their requirements. So they were saying, oh, maybe you can add less of the plant proteins and add the real vegetables. And we thought, okay, that was a good request from our customer too. Yeah.
I think you mentioned earlier in the conversation that because you're going into so many markets, and you're talking to these different markets and you're launching it in these different markets, you have to adjust, and you may be doing things differently. So what kind of different findings are you getting from going into different markets? Are they telling you different things that you're surprised about?
Well, I think the differences is the menu preference.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So yeah, menu preference. So some markets say, we want like really new, exciting things that's not already in the market. But some markets say, we want the traditional products, for example, like the nuggets and the popcorns and things like that. So each market has like their different requirements, and also with the taste as well. Some markets want it more tasty, and some markets want it more bland, because they were saying if it's too tasty, then people may think that it's not good for the health because you're adding so much salt, additives and things like that. So it's quite difficult to please everyone. You can't have a one size fit all, or one product suitable for all type of products when you're going globally, because there's so many preferences and so many beliefs too, because some markets say, we want it to be more salty because it was, it adds to the taste and it makes it more tasty. But other people, other markets say, you've got to reduce the salt because salt is not supposed to be good for you. So we just have to, try to be in the middle if we're going to have the same product going global, unless we customize or localize that product for that particular country or customer. Yeah, so that really surprised me, because I didn't realize that it was so extreme. One country having so much preference for like strong taste, and another market they just wanted it as natural as they could. Yeah. And also with texture as well. Some markets wanted more of the firm texture. Some markets said, the softer texture is their preference. So it's really learning the markets and just trying to see how we can offer the best for them.
It's so interesting, and it's so important to do that on the journey, so that you don't launch in a new market with information from, I don't know, Singapore that's not relevant because you did it in Bangkok or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think going as a global company and going to the global market, you can't just generalize.
Right.
You really need to know and study each of the markets carefully in order to be successful in that market.
I think it's an important lesson for everyone, and this is also still so new for people, right?
That's right.
And because it's new, there's different tolerance for innovation and new things. And I mean, what even using something as simple as tofu, like just the
Yeah.
idea of tofu, right? When I was a little girl, a long time ago, I thought of tofu as the white stuff that you got at the Chinese restaurants, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or in the bodega on the corner that was floating in liquid, right? But there's
Uh-huh.
so many other forms of this, okay? That was how I knew it back then. And there's lots of other forms of eating this and using this and developing this now, all these years later, right? But for a long time, I wasn't open to even considering it because I was like, I don't like the texture of it. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like this and I don't like that, because in my head, I saw it like that white jiggly stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand you.
You know what I'm saying? And this is, I mean, I don't want to, blurt out my age, but this is way back when. I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking about way back when, like late 70s, early 80s, okay?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And we're 2022 now. That, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, my point is that people sometimes can't get out of their own way to change the narrative in their head, to be open to new ideas,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So yeah, I think people have to adapt really. I mean, we have to adapt to the new offerings that we are getting, to the new lifestyles, and just the new ways of leading life in total, because things change so much. For example, like technology has changed so fast, not only in other industries like telecommunications or automobile or whatever, but in the food industry alone.
Oh my God, yeah, totally.
Yeah, technology has changed so fast. Like who would, in our days when we were younger, who would ever think of having like cultured meats?
I mean, right, any of those.
Right.
And to that end, here's a question for you. You're going to the Future of Food conference. What are you excited to learn about or check out while you're there?
Yeah, I'm just excited to, learn about the new technologies that people are coming up with. I think that's fascinating because every year there's new startups all the time, and they're just doing amazing things, right? Coming up with solutions, as I said, to the problems. And, there's everyone has the one end goal, but people are arriving to that end goal in different ways, in different routes, and with different methods and products. And that really fascinates me, how people are coming up with all these new technologies so that the alternative protein space can grow and also become successful and be here to stay, really. At first, when people were talking about alternative proteins, I thought, well, is it a fad? Is it just going to be here for a year or two?
Right.
But now I think it's going to be here to stay, because the technology that's come up, I think it will be able to scale, it will be able to be at price parity, and it will be able to be accepted by consumers worldwide because of the the quality and also taste and price parity that they will be able to achieve very soon.
Yeah.
So
I
so I'm very happy to be joining the Future Food, and also to be meeting up with very exciting people within the industry and seeing what new technologies that they will be coming up with.
So
Very happy.
is CPF working on any other new and exciting innovations?
Yes, so we are working, with the plant proteins. Of course, we are still continuously improving all the time, both upstream, for example, working with the protein sources, and also with the end product, products to the consumers. And we are also looking into other sources of protein as well. And we've announced just recently that we've partnered with Future Meats,
Oh,
in making hybrid products. So yes, we are ongoing with that development as well, and that's very exciting for us.
that is, I mean, that's one of the largest distributors, I think you said, of meats, right? Now,
One of the successful cultured meat startups coming from Israel.
yeah, wow, that's very exciting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very, very exciting. So you guys are really expanding with in this new paradigm, with one of the oldest paradigms. You're bringing them together.
Yes, so yeah, we're very excited to explore, new opportunities and new raw materials.
That's very exciting. So I'm so pleased that you were able to join me here. And we look forward to following up with you after the Future Food Conference and hearing what you learned there, what you were able to make of it, and hear what new exciting innovations you maybe are connecting with and collaborating on as a result.
Yes.
So circle back with us. We'd love to have you on to share that.
Okay, great, Justine. So thank you for having me on this edition of the podcast, and I hope to join you after the event and share what exciting things that I saw at the event and who I connected with.
That would be great. We'd love to have you. So please circle back with us. Thanks again, Lalana. And for those of you that are listening to this or watching this, you can learn more and tune in. And if you haven't signed up for Future Food Conference, make sure to. Otherwise, tune in to Lalana, and you can follow her so you can learn more about her and CPF and Meat Zero, and more to come. To find out more about this episode of Essential Ingredients and access show notes, check out Next Gen Chef and choose podcast in the menu bar. If you like this episode, head to iTunes or Next Gen Chef's YouTube channel to subscribe. Learn more about Next Gen Chef, the platform that powers this podcast, by checking out our website, or visit us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Next Gen Chef. You can also check out my Instagram at Justine_Reichman. If you have thoughts about this episode or future episode ideas, leave us a comment at Next Gen Chef's YouTube channel or drop an email at team@nextgenchef.com. Thanks for joining us.